Hello everyone, my name's Plywood, and this is going to be a speedrun tutorial for Metal Gear Ghost Babel, the last 2D Metal Gear game ever released on normal difficulty. This game is also known as Metal Gear Solid as it was released in North America, or Metal Gear Game Boy. Before we begin, the options, but the game just calls it option. There really is only two. You can set the text flow to auto if you want. It really doesn't matter all that much because you're going to be holding B for all the text anyways. And the radar, you should keep that on. So stage 1 is rather basic. Most of the time you're just holding up. Instead, we're going to be going over the basics of the game and controls and basic stuff with the guard AI and things like that, rather than getting really in-depth about the stage, because there isn't too much to talk about. So, in this game on the leaderboard, times are compared on the in-game timer that you get at the end of every stage and at the end of the game. And the in-game timer does not count cutscenes, codecs, or when you're in the menu selecting your weapons, items, and things like that. It also does not count when you're going through load transitions. So when the screen blacks out, the in-game timer is not ticking right there. So that's an important thing to know. Or when you're in this menu, when you press select. And you can select your items, your weapons, or use your codec, but we won't be doing that during the run. So, movement in this game is not like Metal Gear on the MSX or Metal Gear 2 on the MSX, where you can only move up, down, left, or right. You can actually go in diagonals in this game, which is very useful for cornering and for manipulating the enemy AI, as we'll learn about in a little bit. So when you go around a corner, diagonals tend to go a little bit better than actually trying to turn like left then right. Because if you go up at the wrong place, you could actually go against the wall. So if you hold right, or whatever direction the wall is in, you'll go against the wall. And then you can sidle across the wall as well. A will knock on whatever surface you're on. Even this this shrubbery you can knock on. Start puts you into a prone position, so you can crawl, and we'll be using that a handful of times throughout the run to go into narrow places. A lets you punch. 3 punches will knock out a guard. And B uses whatever weapon you have in your slot. That's about it for movement. Just try to make sure you use diagonals when you're going around corners. It tends to be easier because you can see when Snake gets past the corner to change your direction. And even if you're holding a diagonal while going along a wall, your speed isn't actually changing for Snake. He maintains the same speed. So let's just do a trial run of this stage, using the fastest strategy possible. And this strategy avoids picking up the handgun that is available in this stage, the 5.7. The 5.7 is completely optional, you don't need to pick it up, but it does make a couple of the stages easier and opens up a few strategies, but it is slower to pick it up. So right at the start, hold up right to get past this guard, then a little bit left so you can get behind the back of that guard. Then we're going to go upright through this right path. We're going to get spotted, but that's okay, because the next screen removes the alert. There are many screens like that in this game. Hold upright past that guard, and then a little bit upright to that grass, so you can sneak by that guard. And then continue to hold up. No need to change your direction, just keep on holding up. Now we're going to get on this bridge and squeak by those guards like so, and that's stage 1. Anyone should be able to get a 35-second time with little practice. It's very straightforward. But let's say you want to take things a little bit safer and pick up a handgun. The initial path is the same, sneaking by these guards, but instead of going right, we're going to go up through this little maze section. Good place to test out your cornering, and knock that guard out and pick up this 5-7. You don't need to knock the guard out, but if you're going through the trouble of picking up the 5-7, you might as well make the escape from the 5-7 safer. If you don't knock that guard out, he will spot you, and then you have to run out of the screen while on alert, which is a bit scary. And then just continue as normal. Just keep on running, and you're off there. So a 53, about 18 seconds slower. It can be a 51 if you go for the riskiest thing, which is just picking up the 5-7 and making a run for it, but 53 is a decent time to aim for if you're picking up the 5-7. So we've gone over the two paths. Let's go a little bit over guard AI. So Ghost Babel guards, they're fairly dumb, and the way they attack you is influenced by what direction you're holding for your movement. So I'm going to get spotted by this guard intentionally. And if I hold left, he's going to shoot left. See, I'm holding right, they're shooting right. But if I hold diagonals, they'll actually attack diagonally because they think I'm moving in that way, but I'm actually moving two-dimensionally, right? Not actually moving on a diagonal. And we'll be using this to our advantage a lot throughout this run, because making the guards not hit us when we're on alert is very useful. The other thing to note, and it's not always going to happen, but sometimes when you knock and make a guard hear you, if they hear a noise, sometimes they will peer around, stand and look around left and right, randomly, it seems. Trying to make the guard actually do it, but he's not biting. Yeah, there, right there. You see how he looked left then right? So that will happen randomly, and with certain strats in the game, that can really mess up your timing, so be aware that that can happen. If you see a guard doing that while you're trying to sneak by him, just stop, wait a moment, and let him do his thing until he does the thing you want him to do, which is run to the sound. One last note about alerts. So, if you get spotted in this game, there are areas where you lose the alert by transitioning to the next screen, like this one. But there are also screens where that doesn't happen, like this one. What you can do is keep on swapping between the screens, like this, and cheese out the alert that way. And once I see the guard, I tend to just move to the other side, like this. And this way, you wait out the alert efficiently without getting spotted again, because continuing the alert can be very dangerous and lose you a lot of time, because you can't use elevators and certain doors when you're on alert. So that about covers all the basics of Stage 1 and the basics of the game. Stage 1 should not take you too long to understand, and I hope that this video helped. I will see you, hopefully, in Stage 2, where we'll be talking about how to deal with cameras and efficiently moving in that stage. Thanks for watching.